Boy, we have ourselves a class today. I got to get a few more things together. Wait a second for people to come on in. I appreciate you joining us today. Um, in the meantime, between time, let me let's get a couple some some jams going real quick. Yeah, let's get some jams going. Shall we? Ashley, we don't want to hear that commercial. Stopping now. Seven up. Yeah. Hey, where my Moors at? Check it out. Nothing. A long time ago there was one man. One. And he came to teach Moors who was being called Negroes and blacks. Two. You see, it was sort of like this guy three wise men used to speak about way back in the day. Three. And he was for love instead of hate. Oh. And he stood on five principles. Five. It was love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Yeah. All right. And no disrespect to the sixth guy. That's six. But this man here, he was rolling with them sevens. Noah. He was rolling with them sevens. I'll be right back. Yeah. Come on. He was rolling with them sevens. He was rolling with them sevens, baby. Now we rolling with them sevens. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we rolling with the sevens. He was rolling with them sevens. Sevens up. Okay. Sevens up if you rolling with the sevens.
Noble Drew Ali was one of the greatest men to come among us. So teaches the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Noble Drew Ali, that was his line. To help us know ourselves, that's why he kind. Yeah, I used to be so angry, spitting flying. But once I seen the light, that is when it changed. Once you know the truth, it change your wise. You can see our people for we are, not the lies. Now I understand why they try and keep us lost. Our ancestors right when they really hurt the sauce. They gave hella knowledge, hella culture to the world. They're trying to make us slaves, but you ain't keep it there. Without even knowing, making gold out of dirt. We always showing love, that's probably why it hurt. My people wanna chill, my people want serenity. And it seems like you want some more enemies. We all about love, we all about peace. Throw them sevens up when you see us in the streets.
Come on.
Yes. You know we throw them sevens. Hit them with the loud. But you know this feel like hell. Oh yeah. Sevens up right there. Sevens up right there.
See, when you understand the spiritual nature of the seven and how it manifests all around us, it will allow us to understand our divine nature. It must be challenging for others to understand who we are. You know, they place labels on us, try to identify us in ways that remove us from our divinity, calling us everything outside of who we truly are. And what happens when we identify with the name or label that someone else has given us? We forget our divinity, who we truly are. See, the thing about language is that it has the same dual nature as everything else. It can be beautiful, but at the same time, it can be stifling to our nature. So when we identify with something that limits us to the material realm, it strips us of our divinity. We are beyond labels. We are made in Supreme's likeness. Wake up, divine man. You are creators with the same likeness. See, a divine man represents the will. And when a divine man has the will to do something, and he directs his will with the spiritual power of the divine woman, oh, the beauty in what you can create. Everything around us is because we created it. Let's get back to that. Back to conscious creativity. I will honor your highest expression, your divinity.
divine man, though. Feeling good. I'm feeling great. How are you doing today? We have ourselves a class. We have ourselves a class. Let me open this up so I can drop some links in the chat. All right. Peace. I am Jahmal. I thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. This class here, the truth about Jamhal flicks and the rise of the Moors, keeping it real with Rami. Let me put this out right out front. The reasoning for doing this is to make it clear for Moors, people that are Moors, our brothers and sisters all around the world, and even, the agents that may be watching this, wondering what's going on with this Moorish movement, because we see, some Moors with guns, and they talking about militias, and we need to take over. Whoa, we gonna clarify this. What I'm gonna give you some symbolism real quick. There you have a dirty glass, okay? And here you have a clean glass, okay? It's an analogy I love to use. See, people that maybe aren't well studied, just coming into this information, quote unquote new Moors, people that are looking from the outside in, just wondering what's going on, they may have clicked this and said, what's happening? So I want to explain that what this is to demonstrate the clean glass of water, the clean glass of knowledge. This represents true Moors. This represents what Moorish Americans, what Moors are truly about. And this glass here is the dirty glass of water, the dirty glass of knowledge and information. This glass represents Jamhal flicks, the rise of the Moors, and truly anyone that is teaching against the clean glass. Now, this clean glass of water, this clean glass information, this comes from Noble Drew Ali. He is a universal prophet. He came for all people to uplift humanity, but specifically for the so-called black, so-called colored, so-called Negro, so-called African American, because we needed his help the most. This dirty glass, this glass represents the people, Moors, that have taken this clean glass of information and put their own mix into it, put their own toxins, put their poisonous ways, their deceitful ways, their treacherous ways, and mix it into the knowledge. Now, I'm going to do my best to remain loving and kind while I teach this, because we don't have to demean the dirty glass of water. All we have to do is set the clean glass next to it. And you should be able to see for yourself which glass you would like to drink. For me, go with this clean glass, you feel me? Oh, it's tasty too. Cheers. Boom. You know what I mean? Okay, now let me get this out the way so I don't spill it on stuff. But I just wanted you to get some symbolism for when we get to it. I'm gonna still drink this one good. Can't be wasting water, you feel me? Can't be wasting water. And I put it through the filter, so it's even better. You know what I'm talking about? I'll put it down here for now. Okay. I got some notes. I got some books. I got some footage. We got a lot to get to. So I'm going to do my best to be patient. And let's just walk through it carefully and slowly. And I want you to listen. I want you to observe. I want you to use your mind, critically think. I don't want you to believe. That's very key. I don't want you to believe what I'm saying. I'm going to put that clean glass of information up there for you, and you can see for yourself which one you would like to drink. If you want to drink that dirty glass, that's your choice. I can't force you to drink from a clean glass of water. If you want to drink from the dirty glass, that's your choice. But I do want to make it clear for everybody watching, true Moorish Americans, the brothers and sisters that follow what Noble Drew Ali taught, that are standing on the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I want to make it clear what we are about and separate that from the people who may be wearing a fez or a turban, may be calling themselves Moorish Americans. They may sound really convincing, but they are not on the path. They are teaching against what Noble Drew Ali taught. They're doing their own thing, and I want to make it clear so that when the consequences of their actions start to unfold, we, true Moorish Americans, are not caught up in that. Because, I'm gonna put some humor into this, but let me also say this. This is a very serious situation. And the things some of these people are doing, like the rise of the Moors and Jamhal, it can and it will get Moors and Moorish Americans harmed and possibly killed, possibly imprisoned. So I do want to make it very clear to protect you and your family, especially our children. You do not want to get caught up in the foolishness that they are representing. There's no joking about that. Cool? All right. Let me drop some links in here so you can follow along, and I'm gonna put the links in the description later. I should have did it right now, but my fault. Boom. So that first link right there is to the Quran Circle 7. Excuse me. The next link right there is to the Moorish literature. These are things that are coming from Noble Drew Ali, that are very important for you to read and study so that you can discern, so that you will know, that you will not be believing what anybody says, but you can see for yourself what Noble Drew Ali, a universal prophet, said. And you can critically think and use your own mind and discern, oh, this person is lying. This person is being deceitful. This person is trying to mislead us. I'm going to stay away from this person. I'm not going to follow the instructions that this person is giving out because this person is on the wrong path. But not because Rami said it. No. Because Noble Drew Ali instructed and taught this. You feel what I'm saying? I want to make it very clear because I'm a student and a follower of the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. I'm not creating my own movement. I'm not trying to overtake and feel like I'm better than Noble Drew Ali. No, sir. No, ma'am. Please don't even try to get that on me. Don't put that on me. No way. I'm just a follower. I'm studying and doing my best to do and be a servant of Allah, really and truly. But as it pertains to the Moorish Americans, the Moorish Divine and National Movement, I'm a student, I'm a follower of the leader, which is the universal prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And if you have a problem with that, if you feel I know better than Noble Drew Ali. You can feel that way. And I humbly suggest you take off the turban and the fez and you go create your own movement. Don't call yourself a Moorish American and a Moor and say you're honoring Noble Drew Ali. Just let it be known, hey, I think I'm better than Noble Drew Ali, so I'm going to do my own thing. And that way the people, they'll know what your intentions are. And if they choose to follow you or whoever, like Jamhal, at least they'll be clear, okay, I'm not listening to Noble Drew Ali. I'm not following the principles and the instructions that he laid down. I'm following this other dude. Or I'm following this other lady, or whoever you following. Or I'm making it up on my own as I go. Because I just think I got it like that. If that's you, hey, that's you. That is not I. Cool. Okay. Where shall we begin? Where shall we begin? Let's start with the video. Let's just get right to it, shall we? Let's get right to it, shall we? $15-minute mark. Let me see. And I apologize that I don't have it set up better where you can just see it on the screen. You just got to work with me. I literally saw this video last night. I said, man, Allah's the best of planners. We gonna get right to it.
It's the will of the people. The same way the Moorish nation hasn't gone anywhere, the will of the people. The same way all these people acting like they're for unity, and then when people try to press hands with them, they deny them, and then the people accept it, the will of the people. The same way the 17 temple number 1 supreme bodies or whatever, the will of the people. And then the people want to blame individuals. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Just for clarification, if you don't know, this is the leader of the Rise of the Moors. This is a radical group that is not a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, that is not representing Noble Drew Ali's teachings, that are not true Moors according to what Noble Drew Ali taught and how we're supposed to act and conduct ourselves. I just want to make this clear. This is the Jamhal character. So as we follow along, I'm going to stop and start, and I'm going to highlight some things.
I thought majority rule. What happened to that? What happened to that? What happened to majority rule? Oh, now that you're part of the majority, you don't want the responsibility, so you put on someone else. And then we still act like, yeah, we're Moors and we got this shit on lock. No, the fuck we don't. You cannot name one leader of anything that's taking the people in a direction by majority vote of the people. You can't name them. Which means the people haven't decided on shit, which means we ain't going nowhere. Which is why I decided I'm not gonna act like I'm gonna be a government and shit like that. No, I'm gonna try to help the people by actually forming a civic organization to teach the people how to run government, and then say that if you want to be part of this organization, these are the standards that I fucking expect from you. Why? Because when we're gonna have a Moorish government, it's gonna be the same fucking shit. There's gonna have to be standards that are fucking expected out of the people within those fucking positions. That's how we go anywhere. That's why there's 17 different Moorish governments who haven't gone anywhere. Why? Because there's no goddamn standard. Any Joe Schmo from the bus stop can go on camera and say we're Moors. And then everyone's going to be like, oh my God, Hamid is dominant. He said this new word that I never heard of before. He's my fearless leader. They got no track record. Go to a hospital, see if that shit flies.
I forgot to say that beforehand. I apologize. The language is very vulgar at points, very profane, a lot of cursing. My apologies. I should have said that before I pressed play. Let me just continue for a moment.
Go to the hospital, go to the trauma unit, and see if you can just walk in there and say you're a doctor. Fuck, they're gonna laugh in your fucking face, probably spit on you, and then call security. Get this idiot out of here. But when it comes to Moorish science, anybody, anyone that you never seen them a day in your life, they can go on camera in front of you, and we're just gonna. I never heard this word before. What's that? Oh, what's that word? Oh, wow. This person. Oh my God, they got all the answers.
In order to change the people, we must change their literature.
And none of these niggas wrote books. None of them. None of them.
I'll stop it there for a moment. None of these niggas wrote books. This is called Moorish Jewels, Emerald Edition. I wrote it, Rami Salam 2015. And in it, I have a lot of information. Talk about astrology, etymology, misunderstandings, Moorish documents. I cover some history. Benjamin Bennet, Beethoven, Saint Maurice, Saint Benedict de Moor, giving people history. But I want to highlight something specific that I put in here that goes to what he spoke about, that there's no standards as he claimed. This is excerpt, and you can also find it in the Moorish literature link that I dropped. It's a warning from the Prophet. Friday, October 26, 1928, for all governors, grand sheiks, and head officials of all temples. There's no favorite in any of the temples, for the law is laid down, and everyone who claims a part of the work must be governed accordingly. All are one. There is but one temple in this nation, and there is but one prophet of the temples. I come to speak to all nations, bringing them the message of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. In the head of every temple, if anyone has violated these divine laws, it will mean his discontinuance. For no man is to be under the influence of intoxicating liquors, nor to seek to tear up the families while under the influence of evil motive. Listen carefully right here. Nor must he speak anything that will prejudice the minds of the public against the divine movement. I'm going to continue. The next piece I have is right next to it, and this is page 16 if you have the book. It says, the prophet has spoken. Again, all governors, grand sheiks, and head officials that guide any body of Moors of any temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America. They must forever live the life of love at home, and it must be known by all members. They must not speak rash words nor any profane language in the mildest form to any other individual, because a leader without influence of good works cannot be a leader. And to be a real Moorish leader, you must study the Quran and divine constitution that is handed down unto you by I, the Prophet. I'm going to repeat that line. They must not, any leader that's teaching and guiding a body of Moors, they must not speak rash words nor any profane language in the mildest form. You heard what Jamhal, you heard what he was talking about. You heard the language that he was using. I didn't make him say those words. I didn't tell him this is how we should teach. That is his choice. That's what he's doing with his organization that he is creating. This separate from what Moorish Americans are supposed to be doing. This separate from true Moors. This separate from the teachings of Noble Ali. But he is posing, he is claiming to be a Moorish American. He is claiming to be a true Moor that's teaching and wants to guide the people. This is very dangerous because he is literally going against what Noble Ali is saying and claiming that there is no standards. When here, in fact, the standards are clear, and it's been here since 1928, long before I was ever born. I'm going to continue reading. Page 18. Divine warning by Prophet Noble Ali. General laws. Every temple and head is to function by words, deeds, and actions imitating the Prophet, especially when teaching a group of Moors, any group of Moors. The heads of all temples by force. The head of all temples are to by force refrain from all wrath words profanity in the mildest form from its members. They must live the life of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and refrain from alcoholic liquors or any other harmful things that will terminate to destroy the peace or any other of the divine principles. They are not to contribute to anything that will cause the public to disagree with he or she. Follow this divine principle. And if you don't restrict to this divine principle, then you are not a true Moor. This is divine warning by Prophet Noble True Ali. I'm gonna read one more, then we'll continue. Actually, no. Let's give it a break and get back to what he was saying.
No, you got no. So
that's another problem too. We're all too focused on watching videos of people, talk about more science when I'm not saying that you shouldn't watch people because there are great people out there like Taj, like Jamhal and stuff like that.
Yeah, but Taj has written books.
Exactly.
I've written books, which means I had to read books.
But here's the thing, you have to cross-reference anything that anybody says. You have to look things up in the book and read it for yourself.
Very good point by the sister. You do have to cross-reference and read things for yourself. Don't just watch these videos and go with what they say. Please, don't just believe me because I put it in this book. I have this too. Now, I apologize. It's very beat up and it's very steady, but I have the same information that was in here. I put in this book to teach the people, following the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. But don't believe me. I humbly urge you to look it up for yourself and read it for yourself. And let me got lots to get to. There's lots to get to. Where are we at here? 24-minute mark.
Delivery, which means it must not be me. It got to be the people listening. You ain't fucking listening. So now, right? If I'm in the Marines and I keep telling this Lance Corporal the same shit, you ain't fucking listening.
The language.
So now if I say, hey,
listen to the language.
And then they come back with a napkin and I ask for a fucking fork. I said, give me a fucking fork. Right? And then they go again. So I was calm. I said, give me a fucking fork. So they go give me that. Right? So maybe it was me. Give me a fucking fork, please. They go give me a spoon. Okay, motherfucker. Didn't I just fucking tell you to give me a fork? So now I'm saying that. Now Moore's mad. Oh, well, I have children that watch your videos and we really support you and shit like that. Okay. So you're mad that I'm saying fuck, but you're not mad that these niggas is forcing you to pay them? You're not mad that every time I write you a letter in the mail, they're saying if you don't respond, you're gonna go to jail. We're gonna issue a warrant to your house. We're gonna send them niggas to your house to come pick you up. We're sending our fucking goons to come get you. But since they don't say it like that, they say, if you don't show up to this date, there will be a warrant issued. What the fuck do you think they telling you? We will pick a nigga up. That's what they saying. So you're mad at me for saying it like that, but not at them for having the ability to do it. And they've been doing it, and then they do documentaries on it. On Netflix, and they tell you about how they've been doing it, and they're gonna fucking keep doing it. So you're mad at me though. Oh well, this more the way they speak is better. Show me their proof. Show me.
I also want to say, before I even continue, this isn't to try to destroy Jamhal or try to embarrass Jamhal or the rise of the Moors or the people that follow them. This is really to help us see and correct ourselves. This brother has a newborn baby that he's talking this language right in his lap. That energy is not good for the youth. That's not good for our children. We shouldn't be putting that energy out, regardless the topic. But to his point, show me the proof. Back to what I was saying. A warning from the prophet to be read in every meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical speeches, while at work and in their homes or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Keep that in mind. We are for peace and not destruction. We'll come back to that. And lastly, any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. Excuse me. Noble Drew Ali informed us that when any head is to function, especially when teaching a group of Moors, they should not be using profane language. They should not be using radical speech. We are for peace and not destruction. The way Jamhal is speaking is radical, is profane. We shouldn't be using that language when we're teaching any group of Moors. According to what Noble Drew Ali said, not what I said, not how I feel. Okay, it's not about Rami's opinion. It's what Noble Drew Ali instructed for true Moors. Now, if you want to do your own thing, again, that's your choice. You can do that. What I am doing is making it clear this is what Noble Drew Ali taught, and what Jamhal and Rise of the Moors, what they are doing and what they are teaching is something completely separate. And everyone should know that and be aware and conscious of that, and so that way they don't get confused or misled or end up following the wrong people. Because you can and will be harmed. It's not a game, as we will see as we continue. And let me read this last piece to the members of the Moor Science Temple of America. These are the trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving, and they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. I'll read that one more time. These are trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving, and they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you have the true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear and see. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule him to the very lowest, and the ones that speak against your divine and national principles of your temples. Act accordingly, and Allah will bless you for your good work. Peace from Noble Drew Ali. Our prophet, man. Amazing, brother. Amazing, brother. Okay. I want to continue.
I can show you cases dismissed over the past 3 years. And guess how long I've been in the movement? 3 years. I can show you books I've written over the past 3 years. Show me theirs. You can't. So not.
Again, he said he's been in the movement 3 years. This book was written in 2015 by myself. I have another book called The 77 Amazing Facts about Moors, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But I just wanted to put that on the record.
Can you not show me proof of their claim that it works? You can't show me their body of work to cross-reference. You can't show me it. You can't show me them being outside of their house. You can't show me them being outside of where they do their videos. You can't show me them in the most dangerous areas where other people are at, the hedges and the highways, where the prophet told you to go, the people that need it the fucking most. You can't show me that. So now when I'm on camera, I say fuck you. No, it's for a fucking reason. And if you feel jaded by me saying fuck you, You're applying that to yourself because I'm not even thinking about any particular individual. If the shoe fucking fits, wear it. Because the motherfucking true Moors know me. They recognize me. Why? Because I'm showing them fucking tangible goddamn results that's going to help them and their fucking family. That when they apply it, it helps them and their fucking family. So all these other niggas, I don't give a fuck about you. Because you're being a nigger. Niggers are emotional. No, she's fine. She's waking up a little bit.
Okay.
She's getting fired up because we're both hot, right?
Is she?
Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, man. You have to be very careful of the people that you follow. Just because they may sound good, just because it may feel like, oh, they sound like they know what they're talking about. Be very careful. Noble Drew Ali made it very clear how we're supposed to conduct ourselves. And I just put this on the record. I wanted to wait until the end, but I just do this as we go along. I was teaching a study group every other week back in 2014, 2015 at Samuel Merritt College to Moors. I taught a class with Taj Tariq Bey in 2013 in front of, let's say, 35, 40 Moors. I don't remember exactly. It's recorded. You can go check it on YouTube. I wanted to grab this because man knows nothing by being told. Okay? This was a newsletter that I created. This one is called the Morning Star Spring Series, Volume 1. This was March 11th, 2014. Front and back, okay, in color. And I was sending this out. March 20th. March 26th. Let's see here. Look at this one first. Okay. The date is up there. Inmate male, Department of Corrections, PA. Chris Washington L. Peace to the brother Chris Washington L. This was May 20th, 2015. This is a request for a sample copy of the Morning Star newsletter, because I was sending it out to people that was locked behind the bars as well. I used to write articles and columns and poetry for the Moorish America magazine. I'm interested in ordering your newsletter. Please rush me the necessary information and a sample copy. Thank you for your attention and consideration. And just for your understanding, I was charging a 25-cent donation. Just so see, he was just doing it for money. It is a donation, and it was 25 cents, if you have it. Okay? May 2015. Greetings, my brothers and sisters of my Moorish hip-hop family. I am a member of the Moorish National Movement. My name is Brother Jeffrey Marks Bey. I am writing for a subscription to the Morning Star newsletter dedicated to informing, teaching, and uplifting fallen humanity. Thank you for your time and effort. I leave you as I came, in peace and love. I hope to hear from you soon. Okay. This is a letter, January 21st, 2014. It's from a brother named Jamhal. This is a brother that I knew personally. He was writing me from San Quentin prison. Well, I wrote him, and then he responded to me. What's up, big bruh? I pray all is well. I'm straight, maintaining, and always keeping a smile. Thanks for reaching out to me. I can't recall meeting you when Rich left Rita. It was probably another time. Rich is my partner that I met him through. No disrespect. I appreciate your concern on my religion and trying to convert me, but I'm a Christian. This is who I am. But how you living out there? For sure, when I touch down, we're going to link up. Right now, I'm making plans and trying to improve myself. Not saying I was in the streets, but I could do better. Hey, Rami, hit Rich for me. Tell him Kilt was out here. I got 2 pictures of my little brother. Sent them to me. Good looking out, big bruh. Until next time, peace to the G. Now, I was doing my best to give him some information about Moors and about our true identity. And, you know, he perceived that as me trying to convert him into a new religion. I just wanted to put some things on the record. Oh, one more thing. This was the return envelope that was sent to me. I sent a letter. I sent some information to Overbrook Entertainment. Okay, Overbrook Entertainment. You can look up the company for yourself and see what that company is about. But I'll read the letter. This is May 7th, 2014. Rami Salam Mail. Dear Rami, R.E. the Morning Star Newsletter. Dear Rami Salam Mail, we are returning unread your project submission and all enclosures included with it. Your materials were examined only to the minimal extent needed to determine its nature. No notice was taken of its literary content. While we sincerely appreciate your interest in sending material to us, it is our policy, based on legal and other considerations, not to read or consider unsolicited submissions of this type. Sincerely, Overbrook Film Department. I got another one. This right here is a return letter. Okay? I don't know if you can see that. Return to sender. Insufficient address, unable to forward. This was to the Moorish Science Temple of America, Temple number 2, Carbondale, Illinois. I didn't even open it. I'll open it for you. What was sent? The newsletters and a card. Much love to you all. I don't like trying to or having to prove, because it's not about me. I don't want attention. I didn't want people trying to look to me as any sort of leader. I was focused on doing the work, but I just want to put this on the record so that you can see the difference between someone who is following the teachings of Noble Drew Ali and someone who is doing things for their own personal gain and however they want to do it. I'm following the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, standing on the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. What the rise of the Moors and Jamhal and characters like him are doing is their own separate thing. And we must not get confused or conflate the two. We must be very clear. And if you're a true Moor, if you're a Moorish American, if you are following the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, if you are standing on the 5 principles, then please, for your own safety, stay away from people that are teaching the things that Jamhal is teaching. For your own safety, because you're putting yourself and your family in harm's way if you associate with characters like that.
She just gave her the bowl.
I'm hot. She's hot. I'm fired up. You gotta get used to this heat, son. Get used to it. It says in the Quran what? When they're talking about Mary and Elizabeth or whatever her name was. Was John the Baptist's mom Elizabeth, right? Pretty sure. And they were saying you gotta inspire Jesus and What's the word? What's his name? I just said it. John the Baptist. You got to inspire them with the holy zeal. You got to fire them up. You don't just say, yeah, we're Moors and we're oppressed, but that's okay. No, fuck that. We're oppressed. We got to change it. What's up? People don't know what love is, man. They really don't.
That's an example of someone using the teachings and trying to use them to mislead people. So let's read real quick what it says in chapter 2, which is entitled The Education of Mary Elizabeth in Zoan, Egypt. This is coming from the Quran, Circle 7. Not just some what's her name and such. Let's really understand what it says. Don't believe what you've been told, but listen carefully. And I'm going to read from line 15. Yeah, from line 15, chapter 2 of the Quran, Circle 7. A mighty works, or actually 14. And these, your sons, will be the first to tell the news and teach the gospel of goodwill to men and peace on earth. A mighty work is theirs, for carnal men want not the light. They love the dark. And when the light shines in the dark, they comprehend it not. We call these sons revealers of the light, but they must have the light before they can reveal the light. And you must teach your sons and set their souls on fire with love and holy zeal. Set their souls on fire with love and holy zeal, and make them conscious of their missions to the sons of men. Teach them that Allah and man are one, but through carnal thoughts and words and deeds, man tore himself away from Allah and debased himself. Teach that the holy breath would make them one again, restoring harmony and peace, and that nothing can make them one but love. That Allah so loved the world that he clothed his son in flesh that man can comprehend. The only Savior of the world is love, and Jesus, son of Mary, comes to manifest that love to men. That's what it says. Not his twisted interpretation. That's what the actual text says. Love says nothing that not can make them one, but love. Not calling people niggers, not being profane, not having weapons and guns and AKs and shotguns and threatening people or implying threats. Love makes us one. That's what unites us. Let me take a moment to stop for a second. Because I seen some people in the chat. Peace to everybody that's here. Peace to everybody that's here. And for questions, please drop them in. I'll scroll back in a little. I still have some more that I want to get to. But one here that I see here. What exactly other than him cursing or cussing did he say wrong yet? Please understand that already is a problem. That already is a violation against what Noble Drew Ali, the universal prophet, taught us. Don't dismiss that. Don't think that that is not important, because it is. That's exactly why Noble Drew Ali said it. It wasn't by happenstance. If it wasn't that important, then he wouldn't have warned us against it. It was explicit. When teaching any group of Moors, don't use profane language. We are for peace and not destruction. And not even in the mildest form. Why? Because that could prejudice people that are not in this movement to be against us. someone that's on the outside looking in, some young person that wants to learn about Moors, what happens when they just so happen to click that link? And they see this dude in a fez or a turban calling himself a Moor, calling himself a leader, a teacher, and he's cursing left and right. What example does that set? What does that say about our movement? What does that say about how we respect our prophet? Let me get back to it. But if you have more questions, please drop them in. I will follow up in a minute. I have a few more things that I would like to get to. 38.
The places that they've colonized aren't fighting back. Now, as an example, in Kenya, there's something called the Mau Mau movement. Those Kenyans fought the fuck back. So how did Kenya get their independence? Did they file paperwork? No. Did they go to the city clerk? No. Did they file a non-UCC statement? No. Did they file a UCC statement? No. Did they authenticate any birth certificates? No. Guess what they did? They fought in the fucking jungle and people died.
I don't have any of my hair wrapped around your fingers.
And then guess what happened after that? They got their independence. So now guess what the FBI is afraid of? The same thing happening here. Don't believe me? Go to senate.gov, click on search Church Committee of 1975, click on their final report, then click on book number 6. It's going to mention the FBI. It's 1,005 pages. Go to page 300 and then read.
That's Daddy. He's all fired up.
We don't have time. We don't have time. We don't.
The only time they're gonna start hitting the fan, that's
When it's too late. And what did the prophet say? The Moors don't do shit unless they're at the point of a sword. We're a hard-headed, stiff-necked group of people.
Pause right there. He said that the prophet said that the Moors don't do unless at the point of a sword. What he's referencing and what he's misquoting the prophet on, some people may not know. And if you haven't studied well, you may think, oh yeah, that's what Noble Drew Ali said. But that's not what Noble Drew Ali said. That's not even what people are saying that Noble Drew Ali said. This is the Oral Statements and Prophecies book. Line 37 is quoted. We, the Moors, are a hard-headed, stiff-necked, mean set of people that have never did anything except at the point of a sword. Noble Drew Ali didn't curse. There's no cursing anywhere in this, in any of the teachings. Again, it may seem small, but people like him are very conniving. They're very disingenuous. They're very deceitful. And they do things like this to get people to believe them and to follow them. You may not understand that you're being misled. And it's little small things like this that then little by little. And you're not even aware if you haven't studied. And I don't want you to believe me. Again, read for yourself.
Why? Because you don't want to listen when Jamhal says we need a militia now. You want to wait until there's niggas outside your door with guns, and then once you're locked up, hey, Jamhal, yeah, I know I'm locked up behind bars, and I only have 2 minutes to talk to you, but you're right about the militia. Oh, yeah? You think that makes me feel good that you're telling me I'm right while you're behind bars? You think I want to be the guy that's, oh, Jamhal, I don't give a fuck about being right. Let's get out of this. Where's all the men at? Where they at?
You heard him very clearly. Jamhal says we need a militia. Okay? He's created a whole Moorish militia social media account. He's been online. Let me not tell you. I'll show you. He has been online.
These people carry a pocket knife, stupid, because no one's scared of no pocket. Stop until they look what in the face? Death in the face. So of course, don't carry a pocket knife, stupid, because no one's scared of no pocket knives when they got guns.
He's creating and promoting the idea of a Moorish militia. I didn't make up any of these images. This is what he is promoting. And his movement, the Rise of the Moor, this is not what Noble Drew Ali taught at all. I urge you humbly, to look in the Quran, look in the oral statements and prophecies, look in the Moorish literature, and show me where Noble Drew Ali says we need to have ourselves a Moorish militia, that we need to compare ourselves to another nation that use violent means to, quote unquote, obtain our freedom, as he referenced and implied and inferred earlier.
Get back! Contact. Contact. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
That's cool.
Go, go, go! Still got more, still got more. Keep going, keep going. There you go.
Said not to do more.
All right, weapons high.
This is not what Noble Drew Ali taught.
You ready? Just take one shot.
This is not what Noble Drew Ali instructed Moors to be about. We are for peace, not destruction.
When you don't think I am.
Listen carefully.
Live Batman.
Oh, very great. So as you can see, we have to do this video recorded and then upload it to YouTube because we can't go live. As you can tell, they already stopped the live. So this video is about the FBI investigation of the Rise of the Moors organization. And just in case you didn't see the first video, we have 3 guns. We've never told anyone to kill any of these Europeans.
And when we say these Europeans, you mean?
The United States Inquisitionists.
It's clever language. We have not told anyone to kill anybody. We have just said, hey, this is what this nation did. They was into the jungle and people died. And then we have guns. We're gonna practice shooting, practice military militia training. That's called inferring, implying. It's a very deceitful, slick, underhanded way of trying to say something without technically saying it. But you see, that technically stuff, it still will get you caught up.
By the way, I'm Jahmal Latimer The Rise. I'm really doing this video so y'all know if anything happens to me, there's no speculation about the FBI's involvement. They've already contacted me personally. They've also contacted other people. I'm not going to be specific because I don't want them to know that I know what they know. I just want them to know that I know.
The FBI has already contacted him and other people. I'm gonna pose a question for you. How many videos have you seen of Taj Tariq Bey with AKs, shotguns, rifles, pistols of any kind? Don't worry, I'll wait. let's take it off of Taj. How many videos have you seen of Noble Drew Ali? How many pictures have you seen of Noble Drew Ali with any weapons of any kind? Unlike Jamhal, I haven't been doing this for 3 years. I've been teaching for about 7 years now. Never been contacted by the FBI. Not once. They're not investigating me, and I'm not hiding who else they may have contacted that I know that they know, because I don't need to be deceitful. I'm being sincere. I'm teaching to love instead of hate, because love is the answer. Not killing, not AKs, not shotguns, not 45s, no sort of pistols, no sort of weapons are necessary. Love. In fact, I've never owned any weapon, no gun of any kind. Don't have any guns in my house. I won't be having any guns because I don't need them. When you're true Moor, when you truly understand what's going on, you realize you do not need weapons. Yeah. But, and this is for the people, well, I'm going to do what, even if that's how you feel. Please do not be a leader or teaching a group of Moors and setting that example for other people, because that is not the example that Noble Drew Ali said for us to teach. If that's what you want to do in the confines of your own personal home, then that's what you can do privately in the confines of your personal home. Me, as someone who's teaching, I'm following the instructions that Noble Drew Ali said. We are for peace and not destruction. I'm not going to say that we need a Moorish militia so that it can be inferred and implied that we are somehow going to overthrow any government, that we're going to be violent toward any government official or any government or any people, because we are for peace and not destruction. We are for love instead of hate. That's what a true Moorish leader is about. Not killing, not murdering people, not threatening people with weapons. And I'm making it clear to everyone so that you know very clear that dirty glass of information, that dirty example of water versus the clean example of water. This is the last piece that I'm going to do regarding Jamhal and the rise of the Moors. Then I'll get to the questions.
So Juju says, hey, there's crackheads at the door, right? Because someone walks up to the door acting real funny, and then other niggas run up. That's how criminals do it on YouTube. Look it up. Look up home invasions on YouTube, and that's exactly how they do it. They send one person to knock on the door, then 2, 3, 4, 5 people pull up with guns, and they break into your house, and they murder you, rape your wife, eat your goldfish, and take all your shit. So Juju closed the door. I don't even remember walking down the stairs. I just teleported downstairs. I said, okay, I'm going to teleport. That's what I did, just like Goku, because I'm a Super Saiyan.
Let me just continue.
No, I go to the door. I say, what's going on? They say, we got a warrant. I said, let me see the warrant. They're still in plain clothes, remind you. And I got all these guns in my house, right? But I'm thinking, right? Let me think. Let me not blast all these people because I don't know what's going on. One of them runs across the street, comes back with a manila folder.
a person comes to your door and says they have a warrant, and your first thought is thinking about blasting all these people?
To say vanilla folder when I was younger because I thought it was vanilla because it looked like vanilla, right? But it's manila folder, if you don't know. They didn't show me a piece of paper for less than 10 seconds. Now, remind you, it's a full piece of paper with writing all over it. And if you look up, just Google search the average reading rate to read one full page of paper, it's like 5 minutes. They show me for about 10 seconds. I say, I can't read all that. Please put it through the mail slot so I can verify that it's a warrant. And if it is, I'll let you in. They said, no. I said, okay, well, you ain't fucking coming in. Then they look to make sure I don't have a gun in my hand, which means they watch my YouTube videos, which I also found out later due to their police report that they're watching my YouTube videos, so they know I'm armed, right? So it's a strategy, which means they had to approach my house a certain way because they know I'm armed. Idiots, you fucking dummies. Anyway, so what they really wanted was for me to shoot at them, because I found out later that there were state troopers at both ends of the street, a bunch of them, because they were preparing for a shootout because they wanted to escalate the situation, because they wanted to brand me a domestic terrorist. That's why you see Moors like Rami Salam El call me a domestic terrorist, because he's part of COINTELPRO, to get that shit going. Read FBI COINTELPRO, read their Black Messiah Act, go to Senate.gov, look up Church Committee 1975, look up their founder report, read Volume 6, go to page 300, you'll see that's exactly what they do.
What just happened there is that Jahmal accused me of being a part of COINTELPRO, and even though he himself said 6 months or however long ago that he has already been in contact with the FBI personally. He's the one that was in the military. He's the one that was claiming to start creating a Moorish militia. He is the one that put himself on the internet with guns. He is the one saying that, like the people in the other nation where they went into the jungle and people died, that's how we, implying that's what we need to do. I didn't do that. I didn't create these photos. I didn't give him these weapons. I didn't suggest that he should have these weapons. I never once said, hey man, you know what would be a good idea? Let's start a Moorish militia. No, I've never said that. And yet, when the FBI and agents show up at his door, and they are armed, as he claims, because as he said, they watch his videos and see that he has weapons. Something I'm doing?
They break in the door with a battering ram. They throw me on my porch. That's how I got all the scars that I showed everyone on the video. Then we had to wait until an actual cop car pulls up. First, an unmarked, regular civilian truck pulled up. They put Juju in it. Then we had to wait, and that's when I realized that those state troopers all around, because they're trying to bait me to do something, because they want to demonize the Moorish movement. But I ain't fucking stupid. So and I'm not even about that anyway, because if I was, shit would have been happening, right? Idiots. But
why would they even suspect that you would be about that? I've never had any sort of agent bust through my door. I've never been served any sort of warrant. The FBI has never been calling or investigating me. Jahmal said he's been teaching for 3 years. I've been teaching for 7. It's never happened. In fact, let me put this on the record. I think the only time I've ever been in handcuffs was this one time, long time ago. I maybe was 18, 19. I'm chilling with my peoples. My man gets a call from his girlfriend that says there's some dudes harassing her and their mother, threatening to beat them. So we hop in a car and we race to West Oakland to defend these women. We hop out the car, and those dudes that were threatening them, they run in the house. And they call the police on us and claim we had weapons, even though we did not have no guns. And when the police came up, they put myself and my brother in some handcuffs to get it all sorted out. It's the only time.
as it relates to Moorish teaching, there's more science. As Rami Salam, I've never been contacted by the FBI or state troopers. I haven't been, my house has not been bum rushed by officers. I haven't been served any warrants saying I'm a threat. I haven't been arrested for teaching. Why? What's the difference? I'm following the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, the teachings of love instead of hate. What he is doing is his own thing. It's very radical, violent, dangerous. And those things will get you investigated by the FBI as a potential domestic terrorist. And we seen, brother just here, him express that they came to his house, not mine, because they was watching his videos, not mine.
They have to make us seem bad in the newspaper and things like that.
And also, as he said, they have to make us seem bad in the newspapers. They can only make us seem bad in the newspapers if we give them the images and the visuals, and if we do things to put ourselves in harm's way. I've never seen Taj Tariq Bey talk about his house getting bum rushed and him being drugged to a police station because they was watching his videos and they considered him a threat. Why? Because Taj Tariq Bey isn't teaching us to have a Moorish militia. He's teaching the same thing that Noble Drew Ali was teaching. Love instead of hate.
It's a whole propaganda campaign that they were trying to do. But good thing I'm not dumb, huh, Moors, right? So anyway, we go to jail. We get arraigned the next day. I'm in my pajamas, no shoes on, no pop.
I also want to point out, what is the point? He's talking about guns people have to defend themselves. Where did all of this Moorish militia having weapons, showing off your weapons, being threatening online, implying and inferring to be violent towards the government? Where did that land him? Investigated by the FBI and in jail. Not only him, but him and some people that he was with.
Didn't identify myself while I'm in this.
Why wouldn't you identify yourself? What are you hiding from? Why are you being deceptive?
Oh, they say, oh, we know who you are. I said, oh, you know who I am? What's my name? They didn't tell me. Then when I got arraigned, a cop said, a state trooper, part of the Violent Fugitive Task Force, which deals with the Rhode Island top 10 most wanted, which I'm not on that list. He said that he identified me as some strawman name based on an expired driver's license. I said, wait a minute. I'm wearing pajamas with no pockets, and I never ID'd myself to you, and I never gave you any identification, so how are you identifying me? They said, well, your name popped up in a database. I said, what name? Because I never gave you a name. And then the judge was saying, well, he's not saying that you gave him a name. He's saying that they got it from a database. I said, and I'm telling you, I never gave them a name for them to even run to a database. He said, okay, you're being belligerent, and they sent me back to the cell. Anyway, long story short, they put $2,000 surety bond on me and Moreno Bay. They let Juju go. No. $20,000 surety bond on myself and Moreno Bay. They let Juju go on her own personal recognizance, which they claimed that the alleged warrant was for her only, a misdemeanor. So they're telling you that a misdemeanor case was open against Juju, right? Misdemeanor. But they sent the Violent Fugitive Task Force to get her. And that's not COINTELPRO. And then me, who's not even on the warrant, they put $20,000 surety bond on me in Moreno Bay when we're not even on the warrant. And that's not COINTELPRO to you? And then shortly thereafter, Rami Salam L's calling me a domestic terrorist and posting me with guns and all that shit? You don't think that's a whole slander campaign? And then next thing you know, this Masso report European bitch talking about I'm a domestic terrorist. You don't think there's a whole COINTELPRO thing going on? And then so look, y'all gonna be mad at me because I'm saying y'all niggas are fucking stupid. When I've been
Yeah, that part. I wanted to play that part. Sorry.
And
Let me
then,
close
and
out
then
to
shortly
this.
thereafter, Rami Salam Els calling me a domestic terrorist and posting me with guns and all that shit. You don't think that's a whole slander campaign? And then next thing you know, this Masso report European bitch talking about I'm a domestic terrorist. You don't think there's a whole COINTELPRO thing going on?
Listen.
And then so look, y'all gonna be mad at me because I'm saying y'all niggas are fucking stupid. When I've been warning y'all about this, that this is gonna happen, and look, it's happening to me. And y'all still don't fucking believe it because it ain't happening to you. Because you still believe in the system. Oh, well, they're not kicking in my door, so I have nothing to worry about because I did my UCC Financial One statement. Nah, bitch, you dumb fuck. They're only focused on people that's waking the motherfuckers up. So I'm going to keep calling y'all dumb until you prove you're dumb until proven otherwise. Don't worry, I'm still going to treat you with respect when I meet you in the flesh. But on this social media platform where I can't see the human beings, I'm just going to apply the dumb branch to all y'all. Why? Because if you claim to love me and I don't see you here willing to help protect me, then you don't love me, and that's just how I am. Because last time...
I'll stop it right there. What you saw was a lack of accountability, a lack of honesty, a lack of sincerity. Jamhal and the Rise of the Moors, they are the ones that put themselves on the internet with AKs and shotguns and pistols. They are the ones that created a quote-unquote Moorish militia. They are the ones that are implying that we need to use violence to get freedom. He created those videos. He took those pictures. Then when the FBI investigated him, and then police showed up at his door, and then he got arrested with his lady and other people, then he put it on everyone else but himself. It wasn't his actions. No. It was me making a video because I was warning other Moorish Americans to not do that. It's my fault. I want you to think about that, people. And then he went on to say, it's going to happen to you because look, it happened to me. And he closed with saying, if you don't come here and defend me, then you don't love me. How about you not put yourself online and you not threaten people with guns? How about you not create a Moorish militia and instead teach what Noble Drew Ali taught? Then you wouldn't need anyone to come to your home to quote unquote defend you. Because there would be no FBI at your home arresting you or investigating you or calling you up. Have you considered that? This is a warning to all the other Moors that are out there watching this. I'm telling you, please do not follow the example that Jamhal and the Rise of the Moors and people like him are setting. You will put yourself and your family in harm's way. It's not smart. It's not logical. And most importantly, it's not what Noble Drew Ali taught us to do. Not nowhere in any of the teachings is that what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to love instead of hate. Be law-abiding citizens. We are for peace and not destruction. But again, I can't force anyone to listen, and I don't want you to believe me. What I want you to do is study the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. Use your mind, think critically, and make the right decision. What Jamhal is doing, what the Rise of the Moors, and anybody that promotes and supports them, they're doing something completely separate from Moorish Americans, from the Moorish Divine and National Movement. They are not doing what Noble Drew Ali taught. Please understand that. And don't get it confused just because you see them with the feds. It's not the feds, all right? That's not what makes you a true Moor. That's not what makes you a Moorish American. Don't let somebody with a fez or a turban that has some fancy language trick you, finesse you into getting you locked up. Don't do it. I'm warning you, humbly. It's not a game. All right. Oh, and also, real quick, I wanted to highlight something before I get to the questions. I mentioned earlier that I was teaching in public. I was teaching a Moorish study group classes every other week at Samuel Merritt College. And I was teaching it with another brother. I stopped doing that. Why? Because I found out about the Supreme Grand Council, and I also found out about some other things that was going on, and I said, hey man, we need to address this issue first. This brother, he was trying to create his own movement and his own thing, and in my belief, he was trying to use me and the work that I've done and associate with me to give it some validity. But I said, man, we need to get back to what Noble Drew Ali was teaching. He didn't want to address the Supreme Grand Council, so I stepped away from him. I separated myself from him because I want to be following the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, not what some other dude feels is the right way to go. And I also don't want to mislead anybody. I was working with Cujo Awal El, Canaan Land Moors. We created the 77 Amazing Facts About the Moors. It's a cool relationship. But I had a problem with the language that he was using. He was calling our people niggers. And I asked him privately. I said, hey man, I understand your idea about tough love, but you know, it says we're not even supposed to use profane language in the mildest form. On top of that, that approach is going to rub people the wrong way. People are going to take that as disrespect, and it's going to turn people off from this movement. Can you please stop calling our people niggers? He didn't want to do